guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Good morning, guys. Welcome. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes here. We're all having a great day. And we're going to get started in just a moment.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Stocks Number Trading. My name is Ron, my partner is Dave. It's almost 11 a.m. Eastern and it is Tuesday, December the 2nd. So thanks everyone for joining. I hope everyone is having a great day. This is another one of we got 3 live sessions here at SST. Dave just did New York and they did really well in it. And this is our post New York. And don't forget, later this evening at 6:30 p.m. we're going to come in and do another live Tokyo session. So it's going to be busy today. Hope you guys are ready. And we got a lot to go over. The markets are really moving today. So let's get into it. And first thing is, let's go over today's quick news. So this is Tuesday, December the 2nd. There was already our European news went through the market. We went through Europe and then we came into North America. There was no North American news this morning. We had Wall Street market open and we've got some FOMC speakers this afternoon. And President Trump is speaking at 2 p.m. today, okay? So if you click on this right over here at 2 p.m., President Trump is due to speak at the White House in Washington, D.C., okay? So I don't know what he's going to be talking about, but he probably has something planned. He will be taking questions. I'm sure he's going to get questioned about what's going on in Venezuela and abroad around the world. So anytime he's speaking, guys, please be careful and mind your risk management, because he can say anything and the markets could literally be very volatile and explode when he opens his mouth if he's talking about anything. Okay, so be very careful. I won't be trading at that time. I'm actually gonna wrap up the call around 1:30 because I want to listen in on what he's saying. I want to tune into that myself, and I don't want to be trading at that time. So that's this afternoon, 2 p.m., just before the markets close today, okay? And then we don't have any other news, and then we'll come back for not post session, but Tokyo for the futures market open later this evening, okay? And then our only news that we have red folder is AUD, but we'll be watching gold at that time, so we don't have to be too concerned about that folder, okay? And tomorrow, if you guys are with us again, we do have some non-farm employment change coming out tomorrow morning at 8:15, and our ISM services at 10 a.m., okay? And earnings, there was a little bit of earnings today here in Canada. Bank of Nova Scotia had their earnings. You can see that they 2x plus their revenue. Banks are pulling in a lot of revenue in the US and Canada. So the North American banks are literally pulling in a lot of revenue. Their earnings per share are going up. So banks are doing pretty good over here. Nothing else to be concerned about this morning in earnings. And after hours today, we have Marvel Technology, CrowdStrike, GitLab, American Eagle Outfitters. So that's what we got lined up this afternoon for after hours earnings. I wouldn't be too concerned about any of these names over here. In Discord, guys, we do send out signals. We do send out also FX pairs. I'm always talking about indices and commodities, but there is some FX pairs. This was a long buy opportunity on USD JPY. We were looking for buys above right over here, 155.10. And you can see we had a bar close above and continue to push for 100 pips. Also in indices, just had a buy coming out of here at 47,400, moving up 100 plus pips. Also last night there was some good trades. And also, guys, I just want to inform you guys that sometimes trades don't, there's no setup, right? We're looking for buys above 47,400, and you see that there's no real volume closing above here. So you can still keep this as a static level and keep your eyes on it. So, there's going to be opportunities where you got to understand impulse trading. If you can't understand impulse trading, then just wait for candles to close. It's not that complicated. Okay, and same here with this gold. See how it's dropping down? We're looking for levels at 42.15. Gold is nowhere near those levels yet, but we can wait for it and see what happens when it comes up there. But there was some moves on gold right over here where we were looking for buys above this level. You see it came up, back down, came up, tapped it. But if you went in on impulse, we had some snipers in our group that went in on impulse, and that's what trading is. That's what we have to learn. We're trying to teach you in a live situation, but if you're following signals, not just our signal group, but any signal group, if you don't get confirmation or volume above, you can see it came right up there and the sellers pushed it right back down and the bar closed right there. So if you went in, I'm going to ask you, where did the volume close above? And you're going to say nowhere. And if you went in, that is your own problem. That's your own issue. And you need to learn how to fix that and stop blaming others for your own mistakes. Do you understand that? If I was in a signal group and I went in on impulse, that would be my own fault, and I need to be a man and own up to it and not blame the signal provider because no volume closed above. Now, however, you can see it's building higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, and it comes right back up there. But now we have a bar closing at the highest point above that area. And then you see the wick, now it's retesting. There's your opportunity to go in right there. And then you can see how the volume continues to push up, and that's where you're in the money. So if you're struggling with these impulse moves, then you need to ask yourself how you can fix it. If you don't know how, join SST and we'll drill it in your head how to fix this situation, okay? And If that's hard for you to understand, then signals are not for you. Then don't rely on signals. Then what you need to do is learn how to trade, okay? And that's basically what I want to say about that. And we do provide trade setups, signals, indices, commodities, FX pairs. And that's what we got going on. Welcome everyone on YouTube, over 100 viewers. I appreciate you guys. There's a free Telegram channel. It's pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. This is all of our live links to join us. So you can see that we're going to be releasing 2 links per day for New York and Tokyo. This is where the links are uploaded. So join this free Telegram group. And this was Dave. If you want to join Dave in New York in the private Zoom sessions with the snipers, getting pips and breaking things down. So a lot of good. And this is the before and after of the trade signals ideas. And I just want to make it, you guys understand, trading is not 100% guaranteed. So no signal, no trade idea, no live sessions are guaranteed to make pips. You guys need to understand this, okay? We try 110% our best to do what we can do here, but nothing is guaranteed. I don't know why that's so complicated for traders these days to understand. I never thought trading was guaranteed when I was learning how to trade. I always knew you can incur losses no matter what group you are subscribed to. Okay, guys, our Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals have concluded. So that's why we were reminding you all week. If you want to join, you got that 50% off. Now it's no longer available. So there's that free Telegram channel. And guys, on our website over here, okay, so welcome to SST. You're not here for hype, lottery tickets, or 1,000% overnight promises. We're not a gambling site over here. We're not gamblers. We're professional traders, okay? So if you want to learn how to be a professional trader day in and day out, you're going to have to learn how to manage your risk and how to really manage your account, okay? We're not here full porting accounts every day just for views on YouTube. We don't give a shit about that. I've never full ported an account. I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't trade a prop firm. I trade my own money. So I'm not that stupid to be full porting my entire 7-figure portfolio for views on YouTube, which I really don't care about, okay? You're here because you're done guessing and ready to trade with real precision, okay? Like a sniper. Real discipline, and real edges that actually work in any market. We're showing you a top-down analysis can work on any time frame, on any security, in any session. But you have to be disciplined enough to look for high probable setups, okay? We cut through the noise and give you exactly what pros use. Clean levels, battle-tested setups, institutional grade macroeconomics, and a community that holds you accountable. So our Discord community, we hold each other accountable. We're not here to sugarcoat everybody and say everything is going to be okay. If someone is full porting their accounts in our group, if someone is over leveraging, we let them have it. It's tough love. Some people enjoy tough love. Some people can't handle it. If tough love is not for you, don't join this group, okay? Because you're going to get your feelings hurt, and we're not here to hurt your feelings. We're here to make you the best trader you can be. But if you're constantly making mistakes that you can clean up, you're not learning, okay? And if you can't handle tough love, SST is not the group for you, okay? We're here to be honest and really make you the best trader you can be. It takes a lot of hard work to do this. Okay, if you're serious about turning trading into consistent income and long-term wealth, you're in the right place. And this is where we get to work. This is where we're clocking in and we clock out. So we're going to work right now. Trading is not, it's not a vacation. It's not paradise for people. It's going to work every single day. This is a tough job to do on a daily basis. It tests you mentally, financially, psychologically, emotionally. This is not for the weak. If you're soft, maybe look for a different profession. I'm being completely honest here. And I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'm trying to get you guys prepared for how ruthless these markets are. Brokers, market makers, prop firms, they don't give a fuck about you, okay? So just when you lose all your money, you're not getting a call from your broker and saying, hey, how you doing? Can I rub your shoulder for you? Here's your money back. No, they've wiped you out. They got your money, okay? So that's how markets work. They're very, very ruthless, okay? I hope you guys understand that. And if you want to learn how to trade, Dave and I and all of the snipers here, we have other mentors here in our group, can help you. We have everything designed for you where it can be self-taught. You have all of the education available for you. All of the courses, webinars, boot camps, everything is basically here for you. And then we add 2 to 3 live sessions daily where you can come along with us and learn live. That's the best way to learn. Here's our live trading schedule. Check out our schedule for the week and pick a session that fits your schedule and join us, okay? And finally, there's free blogs available to everybody here. There's some that are for members only for our weekly outlooks, but every other blog is available to everybody here. You do not have to be a member, okay? And finally, let's get into this. Let's get to work. If you're ready to take your trading to the next level, subscribe to this channel because I promise you, you will improve the way how you're trading. I promise you that, okay? That's a guarantee I can stand behind, okay? So hit the likes and subscribe and let's get into this. We're gonna get started with gold top-down analysis, and then if we have time, we'll move into US30 and NASDAQ, but I know you guys are all interested in gold right now, and we will get into this, okay? So welcome everyone on Zoom. Thanks guys for joining. Justin, good morning, brother. I hope everything is good. I saw you in the Discord last night. Amazing. Good job. Justin is one of the hardest working snipers we have currently at SST. He's putting in multiple hours in the education, and he's learning amazing. And I'm very proud of you, Justin. And it's an honor to do some one-on-ones with you on me. We're going to get started with that very, very soon too. To help you out, Justin, answer all of your questions. Kosova, Mirminjes, welcome, brother. Sergio, thank you for joining, brother. Kira, thank you, guys. And everyone on YouTube, I can't forget about you guys either. Look at Justin's #1 on YouTube too, man. You're a stud. Thank you. Arun, thank you for joining. Grimson, ready and loaded? Good. Me too, man. Let's get this. Jancy, welcome. Thank you for joining. Fodis 9699, welcome. Thank you, guys. Mayfuz, good evening. Thank you for joining. Okay. Tony Gold, welcome, Habibi. Let's get started, guys. Okay. So if you guys are ready, I'm locked in. I don't know about you guys. I'm locked in on a daily basis. I hope you guys are locked in as well. Okay. Timmy, welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay. Are you guys ready? I'm going to do a top down on gold. I assume that you guys already have a top down done. I assume that you guys have already done some outlooks ready. If you didn't, that's okay. Then let's learn together. So this is gold's all-time high. I'm placing an orange line at the all-time high. And on Forex, it's 4,382. If you're trading futures, it got up to 4,400, okay? So I'm just gonna find now one block right below the all-time high. It is right there. I'm just gonna identify it as a supply block, and I'm going into the future. So you can see right here, Monday, yesterday, that's as high as we came. We almost came into that block. However, we got a spin top candle, and look at the bearish move today. This pattern right here that you're seeing live, this 3-day pattern, this could be an evening star pattern where you got a big bullish daily bar and then you have your inside star. That's called the evening star. The opposite of this one is the morning star. If we were, if it was moving down and then we had the opposite. This is an evening star pattern. It's a bearish pattern. So all we need to complete this pattern is today's bearish bar to fully engulf this big blue bar. If that's the case, then it's got a high probability we're going to continue to sell off on gold, but there could be a retracement coming back up into the point of control of today's volume. Okay, so that's just a heads up, guys. I can't say that right now because this daily candle still has 6 hours to go before it closes. It could get a wick and come right back up, or it could come back down and actually close. I don't know until closing. So we will look at this when we go into Tokyo later tonight. But right now, that's what it's looking like it's shaping up. But we still have a lot of support below us with this trend coming up with all of these higher lows. So it could pick this up and bring it back up. Now, this big bearish bar, that is a very important bar because we had some bar coding where it's blue, black, blue. And then this one finally came down, but look at how many blue bars it engulfed behind. This one, this one, this one, and a little bit of that one. So that's a significant candle. So what we got to do is we got to figure out the point of control of this candle. So what I do is opening balance and closing balance with the Fibonacci tool. So there's the open, there's the close. Again, this is how a regular Fibonacci tool works with all of the numbers from 0, 236, 382, 0.5, 618, 786, 1, and 1.618. If I want to get rid of all of those ratios that I don't need, like for example, if I don't need the 236, I need the 382. That will help me figure out the point of control. I have to have the 0.5 because that's my cut line. And I have to have the 618 because that completes the point of control box. I don't need the 786. I don't need the 1. I don't need the 0. I don't need the 1618. Okay? So you see now how I fix it up, where now it's showing me exactly where the point of control is right there. That line to that yellow line is the point of control, and the midpoint is 50%. So right away, what do is I look at 50% right there. I cut it in half. Yellow line, that's now a daily point of interest. And you can see when we get over and we talk about this evening star pattern, you will see for yourself. Where did the volume close? Right below that yellow line, okay? And those are daily bars that are trading. Those are not 5-minute candles, okay? So now can we figure out the point of control of that big bearish bar? It's right there. Can we stretch it into the future? If we did this, you can see when it came right up there, and look at on this day, November 13, came right in there and back down. Stretching it into the future. Look at now, just recently, Friday we closed right in there. There was yesterday's spin top star candle with some indecision, and today back in that red box we're continuing to push down. So this box is still valid. It's still there. It's stretch it into the future. The sellers are still there holding it down from advancing to the all-time high supply. Okay, so now we just got to continue moving down from a top down. There was a bear flag right there that continued to push down, okay? Where did it finally stop? Now you can see that there's a double bottom pivot right there at 3,930. So if I'm drawing a demand zone right below this yellow line, look at that body of volume right there on that big bullish candle that opened ignited right there. And if you stretched it into the future, you see a wick came into it, and we're holding. There's the double bottom, and there's the break back up to there. And if I stretch this green zone into the future, if gold ever comes back all the way down into 3,900, it could provide for a triple bottom buy down in there. We're nowhere near that right now, but we have to acknowledge if it ever comes down there. Now we got some like inside structure in between these blocks right over here. One structure is right over here, where it kind of, if I cut this in half right there, okay? So the reason being, see this big bullish candle? This is the one from the double bottom that closed above the resistance right here. So if I follow this big blue candle, same situation, I want to find the point of control. Opening balance of a bullish candle opens at the bottom and it closes at the top. There's 50%, my yellow line, and I want to find a point of control of that big buying candle on November 10. Same thing. Right there, I found it, stretch it into the future. So you see that there was an impulse break there. If you sold, you got caught. Another impulse, if you sold, you got caught. And if you kept selling at those lows with no confirmation of volume closing below, unfortunately you got caught and you're in drawdown, just like if we're scalping. So that's why I say, wait for bars to close. That's the best advice I can give if you're an impulse trader. If you do not know how to control your impulse urges in trading, tell yourself, I am going to wait for the bar to close. On all time frames, if you're a 1-minute trader, wait for 60 seconds to close. If you're a 5-minute trader, wait the entire 5 minutes. You may save yourself from making some mistakes, okay? And a lot of critical mistakes we make as traders are all impulse trading. And yes, sometimes you're going to say to me, well, Ron, I waited and then it went down and I missed it. Who gives a shit? How many times have I missed impulse trades, but how many times have I been burned by impulse trading? That's what's going to teach you discipline. Not the one time that it does go down. What about the 10 times where you get caught and you lose your account? Okay, think about those times. Not the one time that it went down. Okay, that's how you got to look about trading. Okay, if you don't like that kind of advice, then you got to figure out how to control yourself in impulse candles. Because on all time frames, doesn't matter if you're a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute trader, a 30-minute, a 1 hour swing trader on the 4 hours, a daily trader, you're going to see all candles make impulse moves. But the best guideline, the best advice, the best blueprint is to wait for, sorry guys, someone's mic is on. 1 second. Okay, sorry, I cut everyone off. Where was I? At these wicks, okay? So you see all volume closing above, and then we continue to drive right up here. So now let's follow this from Friday. Friday was a big bullish candle, okay? So now I'm gonna start zooming in a little bit here. You see where we closed on Friday, short wick. We opened yesterday, start of the week, it was bullish. We came all the way up there bullish, but we did not advance out of this red block. So the sellers were still there. They pushed it down, where it came all the way down there, and then it came back up and it closed. So that's a perfect example of a bearish spin top candle as an evening star in this red block. Now today, let's follow today's volume. So where did we close and where did we open yesterday? And today, right here. So you can see that we had a closing price and an opening price. It was initially bullish just for a couple minutes today. You can see where the wick is. It's right near the opening price. So there's my purple high. 4,235 is today's high. Did it go and fill this wick and break out? No. So the sellers stepped right in, and you see how it's right below 50% still of that block. So the sellers came in, back down to the opening price, and look at gold has been bearish, where they took out yesterday's low. So let's mark yesterday's low with a yellow line as a point of interest, because yesterday's low is now resistance at 4,205. So if buyers bring this candle all the way back up, there's going to be a little battle right here at 4,200 or 4,205. Okay, and you can see that the sellers continue to push all the way down right there. There's our lowest point of the candle. It's at 4,164. There's my purple line. So now I can see that it didn't come all the way down and, you know, so far engulf this big Friday's volume. So next thing, if we break, I'm targeting these bodies. There's an ignited body. There's a spin top candle that also closed right there. So one more point of interest for myself is right there. I'd like to see if the sellers can bring it all the way down here, because this is where we had some consolidating, and this is where the buyers, bigger buyers, would be at 4,130 if it gets down there. But right now we got a big bearish candle still coming down. We could attempt to get down to the lowest point day and break and go down further. So that's why I have that marked right there. But also from the purple to this yellow, just halfway, maybe during like our session or right there, I'd like to see what type of reaction we get at 4,150, 146 level. It's kind of basically cutting this blue candle in half, and also the zone from purple to yellow in half. If I'm guessing right there, if I don't want to guess, grab my Fibonacci tool, and you see I'm right on, bang on, right on 50% right there, from the purple to that yellow line. This is called tape reading. This is an old school method of trading where you're reading the tape here. For some of you guys that are dinosaurs like me, this is how we used to do it with a piece of paper and a pencil when we were very young, learning how to trade, okay? So now an overall pattern. What do we see, okay? So an overall pattern. Now the bigger outlook, this big bullish move. Sorry, let me just make this yellow so you can see a little thicker. Okay, so you see we have a big rally coming up. So gold is bullish, okay? You remember, we were pushing all-time highs right there. Then it came down, selling leg. Right there, it didn't, you know that second bottom where it came down right there? The sellers, if they were in control, they would have broke it right there. They didn't. So this whole double bottom, consider that one bottom. Good support there. We came back up. But you see, did we come back up to the all-time high supply? No. This red block is holding it down. And then when it came down, see those sellers? Did they advance it all the way back down to there? No. So buyers are coming in on the daily and producing this higher low. And as we came up, look, they tried to break it. Yesterday they did make a new higher high, but you see it's not advancing. So now we got this selling. So will this selling pressure come back down to this yellow line, or are we going to come all the way back down and test this green zone and see if it holds? And then if it, you can see it's an M top, double top again, and then it could break and come down there. And that's where the bigger buyers could be, okay? So that's how we're moving, and I can still see that the sellers are protecting the all-time high, and this block is still active as well, okay? So yes, it is in an uptrend, but we still have to acknowledge that these sellers are there. They're not allowing it to break. So let's break this daily candle down now in the 4 hour. So now we can see how we opened on Friday, how Friday was bullish. Then we opened over here Monday. There's 6 a.m., 10 a.m. We started to push down in Monday afternoon. There's the 6 p.m., the new candle coming into Tuesday, right over here. This was, we're moving into now Tuesday. This is now London, okay, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. was bearish. In New York, pre-New York, going through Colmex and bringing it up, it was very bullish, where we came up and closed. Now, this return is 10 to 2 p.m. right over here, and it's a big bearish 4 hour engulfing candle. So we were barcoding black, blue, black, and now they pushed it down to the lowest point of the day. So if you're a 4 hour trader, you have 2 hours and 38 minutes before this candle closes, okay? So it is very bearish. It looks like the 4 hours came in here, back down. They came in again. They went a little higher but couldn't clear the zone, and they're coming back down. So what I do is I break this 4 hour candle now down into the hourly. So now I can see more specifically where all of this momentum volume came in. So you see right here, this was 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. was when it pivoted on the hour. Let's draw a white line right there at that hourly pivot. This is pre-New York, 6 a.m. Okay, so you see how I drew a white line at 4,185. All white lines on my chart I know are specifically to do with an hour time frame, either 1H or 4H. If you do 2H, it'll represent 2H. But you see how it stopped right there. There's the pivot. The support came in at 6 a.m. It advanced at 7 a.m. Here's Colmex 8 a.m. Here's Wall Street 9 a.m. It came up and it kind of did not advance to the highest point of the day, that purple line, that's a lower high. They brought it down. Then look at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is the elevator coming down. 1 hourly candle, look at it. Took out this bullish candle, this bullish, 4 hours worth of bullish buying. 1 hour wiped it out and closed below. So now it hit the lowest point of the day, and now we got some buying right now at 11 a.m. coming back up. So you see this big bearish candle? Now what I want to do is I want to cut this bar in half. Right? I want to find the point of control because this is a statement candle. This is the elevator coming down. These are strong sellers at 10 a.m. So I'm just going to move this white line to represent 50%, right? See how I just moved it up to represent half cut line of this black candle? And I want to find the point of control of this hourly candle. It's right there. Okay? It's not green, it's red because those are sellers. Right? So I found it. Now I can stretch that into the future. And if the buyers are coming back up, you got to see what you're coming into. You're coming into the point of control, and that's where it could get pushed down, right? So if it continues to break, we're going to continue maybe to sell off to this yellow line, maybe that yellow line, okay? So that's what we got going on right now, live, okay? So this is our new 11 a.m. candle that has 36 more minutes to go. Let's go on the 5 minutes. And this is what we got on the 5 minutes. So there was the move at 6 a.m. that brought us up. There it is right there at 9:30. Okay, this is where Wall Street market opened. Then we started pushing down. It came back up, lower high. Then they really, 10 a.m., redistributed it all the way down. There was a little 5 minute dead cat bounce right there. You know, like when I look at pivots, if you kind of took a dead cat buy, like you have to understand what you're going up against. So even if you made from 83 to 90, that's 60, 70 pips. Like that's where you got to pip and dip because you got, look at all this selling pressure. It might not return all the way back up, okay? So then as soon as it came in, it came into that hourly, that block, and then they continue to push it down. Now we hit the lowest point of the day right there at 10:55. This is 11 a.m. coming right back up. So what I can do is start to lower my cut line to represent this big 5-minute candle, and that's what we're struggling to break. So that's hourly, because I know there's a white line in there, and then I have dailies, and then I know that that's the highest point of the day. But what about this little block right here? This is now a 5-minute block. I can do the same thing with this 5-minute bearish candle. I can open price, closing price. There's the half. And if I find a bearish point of control of this 5-minute candle, you can see how we're literally trading in it and going back down, trading in it and going back down. Okay, so we closed with some blue volume above this block? The answer is no, right? But I can see when the sellers are coming down, it's going back up with buyers. Sellers brought this down, higher low, it's going back up. Sellers brought this one down, it's going back up. But it is building. So again, this could be one of those impulse moves that breaks out of here, or we wait to see if we have confirmed volume. If not, maybe we got to continue to sell the leg coming back down and testing the lowest point of the day here. Okay, so this is where we're trading. We're trading right inside this block. I'm just going to add a daily SST daily bar indicator to let us know how the daily overall time frame looks. It's very bearish. So you remember they opened it, just a small little move to the highest point day, and boom, they dropped it down. And all of this volume is coming down right over here. So basically 9:30, 10 a.m. is representing all of the volume on the daily so far. And this wick on the daily is this little move right here on these 5 minutes. Is that clear for everybody? And then if we want to add a 9 EMA, you see the volume is below the 9 EMA, and we're trading again right below the 9 EMA. The 200 EMA is all the way up here, basically representing 50% of the entire volume of the candle on the daily. Okay, so did you guys understand that analysis? Did that help? Did you see how I went from daily? I did all of my overall daily analysis. I found some points of interest and points of control. Then I went into 4-hour. I figured out 4-hour movement. I went into the hourly, figured out some hourly points of interest, hourly points of control, and then finally down into the 5 minutes that we like to scalp here. And same shit. Figured out points of interest on the 5 minutes and points of control on the 5 minutes. So now the only other thing that I do is measure. If I'm going to take a buy from here to fill up to there, I know it's 80 pips. But I also know that there's a body right there. So I might get 50. It might come right up there, and then the seller pushes it right back down. So, and then I know if I'm buying, I'm also counter trading the overall trend. So you also have to have in your mind counter trading rules. Like, if you think that you're going to buy and gold's going to come all the way up here, you're kidding yourself. Like, you're kidding yourself. I'm literally saying that you're first, like, trading works in levels. It works in blocks. For gold to do this, there's got to be some type of significant news to do that. If it comes up, what is this block here? What did we just waste 10 minutes time doing? Like, you got to understand that this is where hourly sellers are. So yes, it could come all the way up there, but then it could go right back down, right? You got to go through this shit and do all this to get out of there. Then you flip it green. Then it might come up to that daily, they push it down, now this is green. And then maybe slowly again, we're working our way up. Unless there's something significant that's gonna happen, that's gonna cause it to just break right through here, then you gotta have news. Otherwise, there's a big block there of hourly sellers, there's a big block here of daily sellers, and then right here, there's a block of 5 minutes sellers that are not even allowing it to break right now. Okay, so you have to understand this, guys. When you understand this, you'll understand how trading really works. And then the overall trend right now is kind of bearish. So you see that big leg down, even those buys. If you bought that, it's great counter scalp. But if you didn't do anything after 60, 70, 80 pips, look at what they did to you. They brought it right back down. This is a nice move coming right back up too. But look at how it's getting rejected. And if it kind of closes below here in the next 1 minute 20, it could possibly continue to sell back down, right? But it's got these wicks to fill, okay? So look at how they rejected it, okay? So I'm just going to check my spreads, guys. 1 second. Oh, I love my spreads, 0.4. This is where I like trading gold, with these spreads. Okay, is anyone in a trade right now? Guys, hit the likes on YouTube. if you like that analysis. I can do it for US30, I can do it for NASDAQ, I can do it for oil, I can do it for Bitcoin, I can do it for GBP USD, I can do it for USD JPY, I can do it for Nvidia, I can do it for Tesla, I can do it for anything. I don't care, okay? Because once you understand and learn how to do this, you do this on any chart, any time frame, and you set yourself up with a nice blueprint for success. Okay, so this candle's closing in 20 seconds. Still showing a little bit of buying volume, right? But the buyers are buying in this seller's block right now. This one is not as strong as this one up here. If I'm a seller, if I sell here, I know it might not be as strong as this block. Why? Because I know that this is higher time frame, right? There's probably more pending orders up here than there is here. So I know if I scalp this move, it might be a short move coming down, maybe just down into here, where you got a little bit of 5-minute support at these bodies. And then I can see that they're probably not going to allow the new low for the day, and then they're holding it up there. But again, if I was to sell from here down to that red line, again, that's 70 pips. Perfect for a scalper. In and out. Do I assume it's going to come all the way down 120 pips and break the low of the day? It could, but you know, there's again levels in this game. These 5-minute buyers are protecting this area at 4,169 currently. Guys, do you guys like a little bit of tough love once in a while, or do you guys get offended by it? I hope I'm not hurting your feelings, but if you're a struggling trader, maybe you need it. I wish someone was there when I was struggling to, you know, like just kick me in the ass a little bit and say, listen, what are you doing? Like you're losing a lot of your hard-earned money doing stupid mistakes. Like let's learn how to fix this, okay? So this could be an impulse candle breaking out of here. Again, do you want to take an impulse trade? If you do, you got to know the consequences. That it could come up here, get a wick, and go right back down. Okay? That's it. That's what an impulse is. Okay? If you want to like maybe scale it down and go into the 1 minutes, you can do that. You could watch the 1 minutes if you like. Okay? Here's the 1 minute candle closing right now. New one opening up. Okay, so you can watch in here. If you see the 1 minute candles building, it looks like they want to break out. Maybe intuition will tell you. And when I'm scalping 1 minute candles, I'm scalping right up to there, to that 1 minute body, just to fill that. I know from 179 to 183, that's a 40 pip move. Even on 1 minute candle, just to fill up there is 40 pips. Yeah, I'm in and out. Yes, it could go higher, but again, there's levels to this game. Those sellers that came in there and dropped that at 1054, those were massive sellers. Look how big that 1 minute candle is. So you're telling me that they're not going to be there protecting their position where they sold it right there? And if we're filling right up to there, like you got to understand that. Here's the candle. So it's going to close in 15 seconds. We can watch this 1 minute candle. So it is technically impulsively breaking out, right? Where will it close? If it closes right at the high, next candle could open ignited and continue to fill right up to there. There's the close with no wick, ignited. They rejected it right away. So even 1 minute candles can come down and test 50% of this body or this entire area. But I'm sticking with these 5 minutes. So here's the 5 minute candle breaking out of here, okay? So remember that zone, that red line that I showed you? That was on that 1 minute bar right there, okay? So some of you guys maybe are in the money right now. Maybe you guys are in a buy. I'm waiting for this full 5 minute candle to close, and you can see it still has 90 more seconds. But if I went in on the 1 minutes, that's exactly what I'm looking for on the 1 minutes. There's the impulse, the close, the small pullback, and driving right up to there. If I was in that, boom, that's it. I would have been out of the trade, in and out right now. That's it. See how it just tapped right to that red line, and the sellers are there pushing it right back down. Do you guys see what I'm saying? There it is. Look. See how it came right up to that red line, and then they pushed it right back down. Okay? So now we got to wait for this 5 minute candle closing in 1 minute. Now, if this 5 minute candle closes where it is, this inversion box, I'm going to flip it green. Because if we come back down now, we might be looking to buy out of this green box. Okay? You guys understand how the 1 minute candle now just came right up to that big body right there. But it's got volume from this 5 minute candle still pushing. So we got 20 seconds to go. So we got to kind of figure out where the neckline is. Does this volume want to come back up to this hourly resistance? Remember I told you this was just like a 5 minute block. This one holds more weight. It's higher time frame up here. So here's the close. I'm going to assume it's going to close up there. So it's going to close above this red zone. So I'm going green, right? So same red line. I can add an alert down in here. If I get an alert, if it comes down in here, I could buy a pullback. So again, this is a question. Do I just want to buy the highest point now? Like FOMO, oh my God, I'm going to miss out if I don't buy here and I have to buy? No, that's not how I trade. I trade waiting patiently to see if it will come back and retest this zone. Then I know at least I'm buying at a discount and I'm buying at a block with current buyers that are pending in there. Then maybe we take it up. Okay, so you got to ask yourself, do you want to trade? Do you want to go in and buy right now? If you do, that's fantastic. But a lot of times if you learn the bad habit of buying highs, that's when they pull you back and then you go and draw down. Same with selling at low points. If you sell the lowest points, that's where they pull you up and you're in trouble. You got to learn how to trade. And when you're buying, we want to buy low at supporting areas and sell it into supply. Same opposite. If we're selling, we want to sell at high points, sell at premium areas, and then bring it down. Okay? And then someone's going to say, well, Ron, why didn't you buy? Well, I walked you through. This candle had to close above, so it closed above. And then I didn't buy this candle because I think it's overextended. I really want to see how it will react into this zone, okay? And then if I want to buy, I can just wait for it to come back down. My line got blown in the 1 minute? Yeah, because look, see, you guys are quick to talk. Like you want to get me on that gotcha or aha moment. But you see when it came up there, got rejected, came up there, got rejected. Now the next bar, remember, 5 minute candle, okay? This is 11:35. This is a new 5 minute bar. But that first 5 minute candle got rejected there and rejected. Now it closed above. So this red line turns to support now and it's closing near the high and you're getting another ignited bars continue to go with low wicks. So Marvin, if you think you got me with your aha or your gotcha moment, you didn't, brother. You didn't. Sorry. I'm a rock. You can't get me. I'm sorry. It's because it advanced on the next 5 minute candle, ignited, and continued to push up. Anyways, whatever. If you're in a buy, congratulations. If you're not, congratulations too. I'm waiting. Not here to impress anybody. You do what you guys got to do, okay? I'm at that point where, Dave and I are at the points where we try and help, but you guys do what you got to do. Everyone. This goes for everyone on Zoom, goes for everyone on YouTube. Do what you need to do. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own bias. Everyone has their own strategies. Do what you need to do, okay? Do whatever makes you guys happy. I'll be happy at the end of the day when you guys are happy. Okay, so we look like we have one leg recovering. It came down, and we're coming right back up. But now this is the ultimate test. This is the hourly zone. And if you're in a buy, okay, I'm not trying to change your bias, but just understand you're buying into an hourly supply block, an hourly seller's block, okay? Can you continue to advance this on these lower time frames? Possibly, but you still gotta be real with yourself. You still gotta be real with yourself, okay? If you think that these blue candles are gonna break right through this, I hope it does. If you guys are buyers, obviously you make more money, but you cannot just fail to recognize that there's this big red block sitting above us here. Okay. And now it's came right in there, and that wick is telling us right now that there is sellers pushing this down. This candle's closing now in 5 seconds. So let's see where it closes and how it closes and how the next bar opens up. So open again, bullish ignited. Okay, so this candle, bullish ignited, its job is to fill that wick and advance for a new higher high. If it can't do it, then this candle is failing to do its job. And if I notice that it's failing to do its job, I may entertain a sell to push it down to this green zone. Okay, see this small little doji candle? It's still waiting at the opening balance, so I want to see if it will continue to fill that wick and advance it out of there. So now it's filling. Okay, so let's see if it will continue to do its job, filling up that wick. Okay, so again, they rejected it back down. It's a small doji candle. Not much volume in it, but it's accumulating. It's doing tight accumulation. Okay, so it's just hanging around at its opening price here. You know, when volume starts to thin out at blocks, it tells you something. Are the buyers getting exhausted from buying? Then a seller could step in and push the market down, right? You want to see a big explosive bullish candle breaking through here. If you see bullish volume starting to fade off or getting exhausted, it should be telling you something. Okay, but it's there. The buyers are still there. They're pushing it up. So can we break for a new higher high, or is it going to be an equal high or a lower high now? So these are the next things that you have to look for. So it's coming back up. There, it broke for a new higher high. So the buyers are still there. They're still strong. They're significant. Now they're trading into the heart of this point of control. So you can see on this last move where it came up, that's where they pushed it down and started that big leg coming back down. So now it's coming right back up into this location where there was a wick, and then that white line is the exact hourly 50% of this zone, 4,193 and 75 cents. Okay, and this candle, half the candle now is exhausted. So 2.5 minutes have gone by. It produced that higher high. It came in there, and sellers are there pushing it right back down. Okay, so will this candle now flip back to the opening balance and flip bearish and start pushing down? Or are buyers now on this bar still accumulating and still asking to trade up on this wick? Okay, so that's a big rejection there, inside deeper in that red zone. But now we got to wait and see how this blue volume is going to shape out. And it's got less than 2 minutes to go. So that could be signifying that buyers are closing out their positions in profit there. That's what it could also illustrate, is that buyers are closing their positions where the bigger sellers are. They're closing their position. Because when you're in a buy, in order to close, you got to sell your position where the sellers are. That's how you realize profit. Okay, and we have another 70 seconds to go into the close of this candle. And it might consolidate up here. It might cool off up here. You know, it could flag up here, a bull flag, and continue driving, or sellers could push it down for this leg down. Okay, you see when we come to the opening balance, those buyers are still holding it. It's this bullish pin bar candle. Hasn't really flipped into a bearish pin bar or a shooting star as of yet. And we got 40 seconds to go into the close. Okay, so now you see the opening balance just turned black a little bit. So the sellers they're there. See how they exhausted all of those buyers. They brought them down. Here's the close. 2, 1, close. Okay, here's the open, bullish. Let's see if it gets rejected quickly. Okay, it's bullish ignited, so it's coming back up, but it's got to fill those 2 big wicks. So if they reject this quickly, I might look to sell this. But it's still bullish ignited. It's still holding that bullish ignited body, so it's still coming up. But it's got a long, big wick to fill. If the buyers can fill that, I respect that. I won't be selling. But if the sellers are here and they push this thing down early, like right now, I may be entertaining a sell here. Wow, like this candle has real tiny volume. It's still blue. Wow, like you can see it's got exhausted. Okay, I'm gonna go into sell now. Okay, I'm in a sell now. When I'm in a sell, my next thing I do is where am I placing my stop loss? Anytime I take a trade, so I'm gonna keep my stop loss just above that hourly white line, because I can see that's where they rejected it, lower high. If it comes back in here, I'm going to see if there's sellers in this location to continue to push this thing down. I could advance my stop loss above this entire red block, but that's all I'm doing, okay? And then I want to see if we can come down to the green box and with momentum to see if it breaks, fantastic. But I'm looking to come into the green box. That's where I will be reducing my risk if we come in there. So I'm in a sell, okay? And I'm just gonna see if I can continue with this push down where the trend was pushing down here. It's coming back up like a retracement. It's already traded inside here a little bit. So I'm looking for this leg to continue maybe to push down. I'm still respecting this green block if it comes in here because I know it could go right back up. But if we break this thing and then we invert that red, then we could be coming down to that and maybe potentially lowest point of the day again, okay? So I'm entertaining a sell, but there's a little bit of a flag here. There's a battle between the buyers and sellers here. You can see that volume has really thinned out right now. We're going into noon. It's not like the greatest time to be trading gold, but this is a setup that I like to take regardless. But, you know, I could get stopped out as well, okay? I'm not full porting my entire account. I've risked 0.2% of 1% of my goal. So if I get stopped out, it's not the end of the world, right? And you can see my stop is just above that hourly resistance white line up there. Now the buyers are coming back up, but they still have to fill that big wick right there too, okay? So as that's happening, maybe offers are still coming down, flooding the market, absorbing those buyers. We have these spin top candles, so there is buyers buying, sellers selling, buyers buying, sellers selling. There's no real significant volume going either way right now. You don't ignore the SST buy signal. Like I'm just coming down. If it gets down to 82.81, I'll exit the trade, right? I told you guys, I'm just looking for it to come down into the green zone. There's 82.81 in there. So 40 seconds to go in this. Just continuing to wait to see how this thing closes. And you'll see, guys, sometimes if I don't like setups, I'll close them out manually prior to anything even happening. So buyers are still here, still below this red zone here. So it's open ignited. So if there's a flag, maybe somewhere like right around here. Yeah, Emmanuel, good. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys heard how much I'm risking, okay? I risk 1% of my account per day, right? So I don't put that whole 1% on one entire trade. I'm looking to take maybe 5 trades today. I've already taken 2 prior in New York. Maybe take 1 or 2 right now, and then save 1 for later for Tokyo. So I'm risking 0.2 to allow me to have maybe 5 trades today. So you can see if I get stopped out, I still can, make it back, but it's not mentally going to destroy me as a trader. So that's how I allocate. If I was going to take 10 trades per day, I would go 0.1 of that 1%. If I was going to just take 2 solid trades a day, I would go 0.5 percent of that 1%. So you're just breaking it down. How much are you going to allot to the entire market per day, and then how many trades do you take? I probably take a little bit more trades than you because I'm a scalper. But if you're more of a trader that takes 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, you need to know how to allocate that. Okay, it's different for everybody, but it's just a general rule of thumb that everybody can follow. If you don't follow it, that's fine. It works for me. What works for me might not work for you. I'm not here to tell you what you got to mimic what I do. I don't. You got to figure out your own risk management. That helps my own risk management, right? You guys might be completely different, but you got to find out what works best for you. And then let's say someone says, okay, Ron, you lose your 1% per the day. You took 5 trades, all 5 trades, boom, you got strike out, you lost. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's a shitty day, but I lost 1%. I still have 99% available in that account to recover that 1%. And my goal the next day is not, Emmanuel, you asked me this question one time in the Discord. Do I double up my goal for the next day? No, that's not what I do, Emmanuel. If I lose the 1%, my goal the next day is not to get 2% and double up. My goal the next day is to recover the 1% I lost, and that's it. I'm done trading. Then I got to review, Emmanuel. I got to go back and learn why I lost that 1%, figure out how I made the 1% back, and then I just go again. Next day is back to gaining my 1%, going back on track. Some traders, if they lose like a 1%, their next goal is they have to double up. They got to get that 1% and then continue with the 1% that the next day that they're missing. I don't necessarily operate like that. I have in my mind, if I lose liquidity, my job as a trader is to get the liquidity that I lost before I make any next moves. Okay, so we're just kind of flagging here. So it could be a bull flag building to break out of here. So if I see that this selling volume is not coming back down and closing below these lows, I might exit this trade. Yes, I'm going to take a loss, but if I take a loss like right there, I lose 30 pips. But it's not losing my entire 90 pips up there, okay? So you can see that you can manually manipulate the trading yourself. I've got a nice bearish bar coming down, but will it physically close below here? And now it's closing time in the next 46 seconds. So I see it already took out that low. made a new lower low right to that 9 EMA, and it's bouncing right back up. So where will it close now? Let's see. Will it close below these bodies to continue to move down bearish? But it's got a nice return wick, so buyers are there returning it right back up. So the last 30 seconds will show who wins the battle of this candle. And so far, sellers had it down. Look at the buyers returning it right back up. That's a big return. So it could return. The next candle open blue ignited and continue to push up with the momentum off of that wick, because those are buyers buying it up right into the close. So the next candle could advance blue and continue to go back up. Okay, so there it is. It opened bullish ignited off of the advancement of that wick. Those sellers failed to close it below there. So there's your bullish ignited bar. What I just verbally said before, they're pushing it up on that wick, closed right there. So the momentum continues into the next bar where it's bullish ignited, and they're pushing it right back up. Okay, so we're kind of barcoding in here where it's blue, black, blue again. So if the buyers close it above here, it could continue to advance up here. Maybe I'm going to close my trade early. I don't want to be no longer in this. Okay, but if the sellers can close it below here, then it could continue to push down, targeting this kind of green zone down in here. So it's still in this flag, still kind of barcoding. We do have sellers and we do have buyers. And all of this development is right below this hourly block right here. Okay, so you see how that black candle came all the way down. It produced that lower low. You need to make lower lows in order to go down, and same with you got to make higher highs to go up, but no volume close below there. So now the next bar, it's pushing down. Will this one be the bearish bar that can close below there, or is it going to get another higher low and buyers are going to bring it right back up? And then this is that ping pong game you play in here where it's buyers, sellers, right? So if we continue to fill the wick, you know, I'm targeting kind of those bodies right there. If it can get down there, that would be about 30 to 35 pips to those bodies. That's when I can start reducing my risk if I'm still in this. And then ultimately, if it can get down to the green box, it's about 60 to 70 pips down there. But again, it came down. Buyers are there. Higher low, higher low. They're bringing it right back up. Okay, but it's this kind of spin top candle indecision. This is where the market trades sideways when there's these indecision candles. There's buyers, there's sellers, there's buyers. They're frustrating. They're frustrating. They're frustrating for buyers. They're frustrating for sellers. They're frustrating. But, you know, you got to just continue to go with your analysis and see what happens. There's a good break. Okay, so it came right down to those bodies right there, 35 pips. See what I mean? Right to those bodies. Right there. See where that wick is? Right at those bodies. 35 pips. That's where, if you like, you can reduce your risk if you like. However, if you want to wait for this bar to close now, you got to wait 2 more minutes. And every time it goes down, buyers are buying it back up. But then you got to trust the overall higher time frame volume coming in. Okay, so that's pushing down now 40 pips. Okay, for some traders, that's perfect. They've got their 40 pips. They dip out of the market. They're happy. Other traders maybe want more to complete the move into this block, okay? But understand your risk can be controlled. I'm going to lower my risk to that wick right now, okay? I'm in the money. I've lowered my risk now to that above that wick. Remember, it was above that white line. So right now, while I'm in the money, I'm reducing my risk. Okay, so I got to follow this bar now. 90 more seconds to go. So you guys see how I lowered my risk. I can still take a loss. If it comes all the way up there, I lose. But I don't have my stop loss all the way up there now. Now it's coming down to my destination. Right there. It came down 55 pips. Did it tap into the green zone? Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it misses it by a hair. And then boom, it comes back up. So I got rules. Like if it goes 50 pips, boom, I'm automatic. Take 80% out. 100 pips, automatic. There I didn't do it because I'm sitting explaining shit to you guys. And I'm even forgetting what I got to do. That's why I like trading by myself. I'm more automatic and I know exactly what I'm looking for, what I'm doing. New hourly, Justin, at 12. Shit, I didn't see. Justin, I'm not even looking at the. Thanks for reminding me. This is going to bite me in the ass. So now we'll probably watch. Noon will come return it all the way right back up. I should have taken out 80% down there. Fuck. Watch, guys. I'm going to get punished now for the noon return. Holy fuck. It's like clockwork. It's disgusting. That's why it's not easy to live stream and trade at the same time. That's why I have the most respect for live traders. Because they got to answer questions and they're forgetting what they got to do here. I made a critical mistake right down there. Watch. I'm going to get clocked out now. Okay. There it is. Bullish. 12 o'clock return. And I've already lowered my risk. So they're going to come up and tap me out. And then potentially it might come down. Unless the sellers are here early to continue to push this thing down. But my mistake was right there. It dropped 55 pips. And I should have cleared out 80%. Then I would have had 20% at break even. You see? This is where the market punishes you. Right now. Watch and see, guys. And it's that noon return, the new hourly. It's like clockwork. I'll verbally let you guys know as soon as I get stopped out. Stopped out right there. I got clocked out. You see? So that trade, I was 55 pips in profit. And now I just took a 40 pip loss. Do you guys understand? There's that 12 p.m. return. It's like clockwork, okay? Oh, fuck. I don't lose money for your benefit, guys. Emmanuel, I don't lose it for your benefit. I don't. Honestly, I don't. That one hurts me because it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it just to come down there. You know what I was saying? Because we had a buy signal at 82. I got what I wanted, and I wanted to close that thing out, but sitting teaching you guys, it's not easy. So learn from my mistakes, guys. And there you go. There's a prime example of how it came down. 11:55 came right back up 12 p.m. and then now it returns at 12 p.m. Know your hourly returns. You guys are going to get in trades too where right before a new half hour or a new hourly, you're going to have to learn how to go through this shit myself. Okay? I always say, it's like clockwork. It literally is like clockwork. It happens every hour at the hour. Momentum switches. Always, always. So now I'm out of the trade. I got to learn from my mistakes. This is where I would journal this right now saying, what the hell did I just do? And you got to go through, write down everything. You were up 55. This is what I would write. I had the right idea to sell it at that block. It went 55 pips in profit, but I did not close the trade or take out 80%, leave the rest running. And I failed to look at the clock. It was 11:59 when Justin told me it's going to 12. And as soon as he told me that, I knew I was getting stopped out. Rewind the video, and you guys can hear me say it. As soon as Justin said, Ron, it's 11:59, and I knew I didn't take out there, I knew I was going to get stopped out. Now, this is what the market does, okay? They stop you out, and then they come back down. So, did I make a mistake lowering my risk down there? If I originally had it above that white line, I could still be live, okay? But I don't play that game with would have, should have, could have done this, could have done that, okay? So you got to live with what you do. You got to live with the consequences and learn from it. Did I take my stop loss too fast? I don't think I did. I don't think my stop loss was the issue on this trade. The issue on the trade was coming down there, not doing anything. That was the issue for me personally. But you guys want valuable lessons? This is something you can't kind of teach with a back test, okay? Because you don't feel the emotions of that candle, right? If I did this trade by myself, and then I uploaded a video tomorrow saying, guys, I was in this trade and I didn't take out. You guys know what it feels like. It was 11:59 going into 12 and then this big bullish return. When you guys are there live, you experience it, you see it, you feel it, you see the emotions. It's different than just writing a video. Like earlier, I was trading in Wall Street earlier myself. Okay, there was a couple gold trades I took. I was on the sell on this candle at 10 a.m. Okay, I can just show you a video, guys. Say I took the sell there, I placed my stop loss there, I got a bulk of that move. Big deal. Okay, anyone can do that. Anyways, this is gold right now, so it's 12. I'm going to do a top-down analysis on one index. Do you guys want Dow Jones or S&P or NASDAQ? You guys let me know. Trump is speaking right now. Even Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan said Powell should reduce rates. Trump will be announcing new Fed chair early next year, probably Kevin Haskett. Trump U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent doesn't want the Fed job. So Trump is speaking right now. Okay, guys. So you see now how the volume closed above. They created that new higher high. Volume closed above. So you got that bullish flag that this could continue to advance up bullish. But I would keep an eye on this white hourly resistance line. You guys like NASDAQ. Okay, I'll do NASDAQ, but I absolutely detest NASDAQ. I hate it. This is just me personally. I love US30. I love the way it moves. It moves so smooth for scalping. NASDAQ, I hate this thing for scalping, but let's do it. Okay, so again, I could just jump in right now and just start trading, but it's not ideally what you want to do. You want to start off with a nice top down. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little quicker. Hopefully you guys can follow. So NASDAQ's all-time high, right up there. Orange line for all-time high. 26,282, 285. You might be above 27,000 if you're trading NQ. And then is there a block there? Yes, there's a block there. See where I'm bringing it down, right down to those bodies? I'm going to make it red, stretched into the future. Are we at the all-time high on NASDAQ? Not yet. Will it come up there? Maybe, possibly. Might be a double top, might be a new all-time high, whatever. We'll acknowledge it when it gets up there. Now, here's a Tetris piece. Bearish, inside bar bullish, then bearish ignited, drop. See that big one that closed below all that structure? That's a candle we should identify, a point of control in 50%. Opening balance, closing balance right there. 50% is right there. Okay, yellow line for a daily point of interest. And then I can see that wick, that wick, that wick, all traded into it and back down. It's very kind of similar like that trade I just took, but this one had more bearish volume to actually break down support. So there's the point of control right there. So you can see it came in, traded in there, back down, traded in there, back down, traded at it, back down, traded in it, and then back down. So that same zone, look at today's high came really close to it, but then they rejected it back down. So stretch that point of control into the future, okay? And then you can see that that block right there, that lower high block is preventing it from going to the all-time high, okay? Can we continue to push down? Right there, you see where it came all the way down and then Friday, this is like exactly like that trade I just took. 11:59 it came down and it came right back up, and at 12 p.m. a new return. This is very similar, but this is on a daily. This is a Friday. Friday came all the way down. Friday afternoon they closed it. Over the weekend, Monday ignited. Boom, they brought it right back up. So it's a very similar pattern. It's just different time frames. But right there is a nice little pivot. Okay, so you mark out that pivot point, and now you can see when it came right back down. Look at the bearish candle, close below that pivoting yellow area, and then you see it's an impulse wick, back down, impulse wick, back down, impulse wick, back down. Now you have a body that closed Wednesday, November 26th above that yellow line. So this yellow line turns into support now. And you can see right there on Monday where it came down, it went right, didn't tap into it. It's kind of like that trade that I just took, and it came right back up, okay? So you got to have a little bit above, a little bit below of a zone of that line, okay? So I'm not going to continue to just dissect what's going on down here because we're nowhere near this level down here. So we got to focus on what's going on inside here. First thing is, let's follow yesterday's volume. Friday was very strong move. You remember American Thanksgiving was right here. Friday markets closed early, but they had some bullish volume. And it opened Monday. It made a high, came back down to there, still holding that yellow line, came back and closed right there. So where did we close yesterday? Where did we open? Right here, 25,356. When we initially opened today, it was bearish. We have a NASDAQ low of the day already printed. There's the purple line, the wick. It came back to the opening balance. Buyers were strong to continue to fill the candle. Take out yesterday's high. Let's just mark up yesterday's high. And that's our resistance right now. You can see the volume is now below yesterday's high. Look at the number, 25,500 on the dot. And it broke out of there today. We made a high of the day right below that red zone right there, okay? So sellers are still there, pushing it down. However, we got a little bit of bullish volume. It could be, blue, black, blue. Tomorrow could be black. It could be consolidating. Yes, we could continue to fill up to the highest point of the day, but then we're trading back into that red block. Or the sellers could push this thing down back to the opening price, flip the candle, and then we could be selling going into tomorrow, okay? So let's follow this daily volume now. Break it down to the 4 hour. Let's see where most of this volume came from. Friday, 10 a.m. And then the Sunday, big drop. Okay, then we go into Monday, coming back up. Monday, 10 a.m. Then it went back down Monday afternoon. Here's the kind of close right here. Here's late last night. Here's Europe, where it opened, made the lowest point of the day, came back up, closed near the high. So even that 4 hour candle closed above these bodies, and then small pullback at 6 a.m., continued to drive near the high. And then we opened up right now, 10 a.m. I can see we just hit the highest point of the day, and a lot of volatility right now in this 4 hour candle because it came all the way down there too, and now it's coming right back up. So lots of volatility right now in this candle. Now let's break it down into the hourly so we can clearly see when we were bullish. London, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Here's Wall Street. Wall Street pushed up. 10 a.m. came all the way back down, retested, held, pushed for the new daily high, came up, closed. And then you see where they opened 11 a.m. It couldn't even take out that wick to the daily high. Then the sellers come in and really flood the market all the way down there and closed it right there. So this big bearish candle, yes, I know I'm trading at this daily point of interest too, but if I was just on scalping, just mark if we continue to move up, this is a big hourly bearish candle that closed, look, it almost engulfed below this bar and this bar. So this volume almost swallowed all of Wall Street, 9 and 10 a.m. So we have to kind of, just find 50% of that hourly candle. I use the white line right there, just to let me know that that's cutting that previous hourly candle in half. I could also do an hourly point of control right there. And I can see that we just basically traded into it this hour, and now they're pushing it down, okay? So this is what we're holding right now. So let's go into the 5 minutes. This is what we got going on. Look at this M pattern, ugly. At 10 a.m., came up, back down. Found some support there at 10:30. Look at the times too. Okay, so this is 10 a.m. right there. They held it. Then they pushed it down 10:25. There's 10:30. Then now we wrap it back up, coming 10:30. When? To 11 a.m. There's if you were in buys, that's the same shit. It's like clockwork. And then 11 a.m. comes in, and 11 a.m. pushes it down. So there's your M top closing below. That bar right there, that bar at 11:15 closed below. There was the retest. Nice drop coming all the way down. Now we're coming all the way back up to trade into that block right there. Whoops, I didn't want to move that white line, sorry. Just wanted to extend that across, okay? So you can see we are kind of in a uptrend, coming back up on these 5 minute candles, but let's see what happens inside this block, okay? Will it hold? Will it do something like this? Come in here, go back down, or is it gonna, just close strong in there and continue driving to today's daily high up here, okay? And these are not the greatest 5 minute candles. They're just blue, black, blue, black, blue, So I'd like to wait for something to happen inside here or to see if something breaks below here. Okay, so that's NASDAQ. Let's add our daily bar. So we know our opening price. We hit the lowest point of the day. You can go back and confirm what time. 3. It was London kind of in there. Okay, and then London brought all the volume back up. That's where we hit the highest point of the day right there. Right at 10:50, just prior to our call. And then they're pushing it down, but we still have some bullish volume, bringing it right back up. But let's see what will happen here. So you're going to use this block now to see if it comes in and goes back down, or if it comes in, closes above, we flip it green, then we could be filling back up to at least fill 50% of that bearish candle, maybe up to there, and get to the highest point of the day. It could get to the highest point of the day or just below it and they push it back down, or we're breaking out of there, right? But this is the block that's going to transact right here. Okay, adding some EMAs, we're above the 9 EMA and we're above the 200 right now. Okay, so that's NASDAQ. Let's just go back to look at gold. Okay, so gold again came up, back down in here. You know, it could continue to sell down, right? Or it could build in here. So again, it's kind of just this area right here. You can kind of trap all of this volume in here and literally just be patient, and let's see what will happen here. Buyers are still here pushing it up. Why so late online? I'm on time. I actually came early. We're scheduled for 11. I started the call at 10:55. Maybe you're late to the call. Check our schedule, guys, right here. Live sessions. Make sure you're on the right date, Tuesday. Dave was 8 a.m. We are scheduled right here, 11 a.m. I started at 10:55 Eastern, 5 minutes early. I was on time. Maybe you were not on time. I'm very punctual. I used to come in the morning. I understand. We're switching sessions up. Okay, guys? Do I got to continue to say this? Monday, we did 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. We did Tokyo last night, 6:30. Dave did 8 a.m. this morning. I'm coming in after Dave at 11, and we got Tokyo, okay? You can see that we switch up sessions, okay? We do early New Yorks, post New Yorks, Tokyos, all over the clock. Your job is to follow the schedule if you want to join us. If not, go trade with someone else. I have a life too. I got shit to do in the mornings. I got stuff to do in the afternoons, and so I got a family too. I'm very busy, so I try the best. 2 sessions is a lot to do per day. It's not easy. That's why someone said to me, Ron, you look very tired. That's why I look very tired. Okay, so Trump is speaking while we're trading. We got to pay attention to what's going on here, not the schedule, okay? Guys, we got to focus. The schedule is on our everything you need is on our website. Refer to this anytime you want to know when we're live, whether we're in Zoom or YouTube, or whatever it is. If you want free blogs, they're available here. If you want to sign up, you're welcome to. Everything is on here. There's a free Telegram channel that we have pinned at the top of the channel for you as well. We drop all of our live links in this free Telegram group for you guys, okay? You know, I don't like to do this housekeeping stuff, but this keeps everything consistent, keeps us consistent, keeps you guys consistent, okay? That's how we follow things, right? Because when we're on live trading, we got to focus on the volume. We got to focus on the candles. The schedule is there for you guys. Whether you want to follow the schedule or not, it's not my business. I got to follow what Trump is saying here. So Trump, we are negotiating with Democrats on healthcare. We're going to give refunds out of the tariffs. He's been saying this for years now. When are they giving these refunds? I heard it was $5,000 with the Doge. Nothing got given out. Now it's $2,000. Nothing was given out. Like when are you giving these? I believe in the near future, you won't have income tax to pay. Okay, so now he's saying we don't have to pay income tax. Again, these are just talking points. He's talking out of his ass. Like, if people don't pay income tax, who's going to pay for all of this stuff? Who? The U.S. government is broke. They're $40 trillion in debt. Who? Literally. If I'm in debt, if I'm struggling and I'm $40 trillion in debt, I've maxed out all my credit cards, I can't pay my mortgage, and I'm telling you, you guys don't have to pay income tax? How am I going to give you guys free health care? How am I going to give you guys free public schools? How am I going to give you guys all of these things? How? Who is paying for this? Just a simple question. Who is paying for this? The tariffs are not bringing in as much money as he is saying. It's unbelievable how he can get away with this stuff and just keep lying to the public. I don't understand how no one calls him out on his bullshit or his hypocrisy. Okay, so NASDAQ is making a move through here. That's a big bullish candle. It's going to close right now. Where did it close? Right at that point. Okay, so opened, ignited. Okay, so it should technically fill that wick and break out. Okay, if I'm just cutting that bearish candle in half, right up to, it should go to 25,585. However, if there's a pullback, should pull back down to this white line, or maybe back down to here. So it's holding right now. NASDAQ is full, broke that wick. Now it could continue to drive where? Into 50% of that candle. If it goes a little higher, right to the opening balance of that candle. But I always mark half of it. Gold is still pushing bullish, okay? So it's still driving. Canadians to pay for? Canadians are broke too, bro. Canadians can't pay for it. Canadians can't even pay for shit in our country here. Let alone pay for Americans. Yeah, that's crazy, Tony. If they decide that tariffs are illegal, money may have to be returned. Yeah, that's on the table, guys. Then what? Okay, so if you want to kind of draw a parallel bullish channel, we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. You can grab your parallel channel tool, this one right here, kind of just connect the dots, and that's our parallel channel. Okay, so if we're still moving up bullish, which we currently are, you can follow this channel. But just remember, this big red block up here is an hourly block. Where do we get this from? If I go to the 1H, it's coming from this big bearish candle right here. Okay, so just to remind you, this big bearish candle that dropped at 10 a.m., right? And it was a big drop. Look at it engulf that bar, that bar, that bar, that bar, and closed all the way down almost to the lowest point of the day. So the last 2 hours is retracing right back into that point of control of that block. Yes, it could move right through here, or it could, get caught in there and pull back. But right now it's bullish driving into there. And you guys remember, I sold right there and did not grab my 55 pips, which I should have, but didn't. So now I've got to continue just to watch. And the parallel channel tool is really cool because it's got this dotted line. So that represents 50% of the parallel channel. So that's the upper resistance, that's the lower support, and there's a psychological midpoint right there, okay? And NASDAQ as well. It's doing very similar. Like it's got the big drop from lowest point of day, but it's coming all the way back into here. It could go a little higher, or it could come back down and sell this leg down, okay? We went to the dentist yesterday with my son, and they said to him he gets his braces taken off. He's had them on, the poor guy, for 2.5 years. So next Monday we go to take them off. And first thing I asked them is, what is something that you want to eat that you haven't eaten in 2.5 years? Do you guys know what he said? Guess what he said? Something he wants to eat for 2.5 years he couldn't eat since he's had braces on. Bubble gum. Justin, you got it. Yeah, bubble gum. I'm going to buy you as much bubble gum as you want. Imagine not being able to chew bubble gum for 2.5 years. Holy. And you're a kid. Yeah, Taffy too. No, he eats chips. Yeah, he's got to start eating pancakes. I got to get him on a pancake diet. He's not ready for that diet yet. He's too busy playing video games, real video games. I'm trying to teach him this video game. He's too busy playing Fortnite with his friends every day. Okay, and now we're going into 12:30 in the next 5 minutes. So we might, let's take a look at the higher time frame. Look at the 30-minute candles, okay? So we had that big drop. We got, look at these, they're coming up. Coming up, 30 minutes, 11. Coming back up at noon, coming right back up. But now it's trading. Look at where we're trading at. The white line, that's that hourly 50%, 4,194. And not only on the 30 minutes, you got your 200 and your 9 EMA located right there. So something here is going to happen, okay, on the 5 minutes going into 12:30. And you see the 5-minute candles are slowly, again, creeping up there. So this is where we're going to see. Is it going to, push down? Are we going to get that, again, that leg coming down? Or are we going to break through this resistance and keep going higher? So we got to continue to wait it out, see what happens. NASDAQ is, look at where it's consolidating at the upper half of this red zone. So it could, do like a Tetris piece where it's bullish inside bar and now continuing to break out of here. So reason being why I haven't made this red zone green yet is because I don't see any blue volume closing above yet. Came right at it, but no, this might be the first candle that closes above. And now we're going to go into 12:30. So if you're in buys on NASDAQ, it's still driving, still going through there. Trump is still speaking. The National Guard will go to New Orleans in a couple of weeks. The Louisiana governor asked for federal help in New Orleans. U.S. Defense Secretary Hegseth, we've only begun going after narco-terrorist boats. Okay. So let's see what happens at 12:30 now. And guys, if you were in on the SST signal, sorry guys, right over here on the commodities, that 83 area, right over there, 83 to 90. Right over here, 83 to 90 where it pushed up. We saw it live when we were watching here. Okay, and we got 2 more minutes to go into the close now. And if NASDAQ closes above here, flip that red zone green right over here. And also the signal, the trade idea on US30. Big move on US30 as well. Right here, continuing to push up. This was from Dave's call earlier, pushing right up. Okay, to 47,600 up there for approximately 200 pips. Any idea why we had a mad sell-off? Markets don't go up forever. You got to understand that markets need to cool off once in a while. There's profit taking. Markets have to come back down where pending orders are waiting. You know, there could be buyers waiting for multiple months to get in. The market knows that. So got to bring it down to transact down at those locations. Markets go up and markets go down. We have bull markets, we have bear markets, and we have ranging markets. Got to understand that as a trader. Not everything just goes up forever. It's going to be pullbacks. There could be some sort of news that causes that. Okay, so here we go now. Now we're walking into 12:30. So it's a new higher time frame as opposed to the 5 minutes. Now you're getting a 30-minute bar opening up. So again, they opened it bullish, ignited here. We still haven't tapped into this white line. It's close. And NASDAQ did close above. So this is where you can go ahead and make your red box green now because NASDAQ did close above. So, oops, I didn't want to do that. So if NASDAQ returns back into here, you could possibly buy a pullback if it comes in here. But it's also opened ignited and could continue to push through here. Okay, gold is still bullish. Look, it opened ignited, filling those wicks. So let's see what type of reaction it can get in here. If I'm looking to buy a pullback, okay, I'm going to set an alarm here. 4,178, 180 area. If I can get in there, I would love to buy a pullback right in there. Okay, there's another pullback possible area right here where those bodies and wicks, there was a lot of support at this area. I could 4,184. I could add an alert there. Okay, all I got to do this afternoon is patiently wait to see if it will come down in there, pick me up, and take it back up. Or if it comes down there, I could get it deeper discounted and take it back up. But it also depends what happens up here. Because if it gets like rejected up here and closes right there and retests this, yes, you might be able to buy there, but you got to understand that it could be coming down with heavy selling pressure and just bypass this location and drop all the way down into there. So then that would not be a viable opportunity to buy. This one would be better. Because if it gets rejected like that, it's coming down with higher time frame volume, could break this no problem. Then if you buy there, you're in drawdown where you could have got a better buy inside there. So you got to also follow the volume too, the way how it's moving. This is really bullish, continuing to break through here. And this is still representing this one whole leg. Okay, so the bigger picture is it came down, found the bottom, and it's coming back up. Okay, so it's gonna recognize a neckline somewhere. I thought it would be here. It's not. Continue to drive even higher. Is it here? Not yet. Maybe it has to come at the top. Then find a neckline. Maybe come back down. There could be buying. There could be buying, and then pushing it back up. But okay, so now Hegseth is speaking. He's the Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War, they call it. We have had a pause in strikes because it's hard to find boats right now because they've probably blown them all up. Okay, so this candle now is closing in 60 seconds. This is opening 12:30, 5 minutes. It was very opened, ignited, strong, came all the way up, broke through that hourly resistance, got up to those dotted lines, and now they've rejected it back down. So it's still in a red zone, but there is buyers transacting inside here. and follow how it closes. It's an inverted hammer candle. Looks like it's an upside down hammer because it's got that bullish ignited open and it's still holding its body. And if it closes above that white line, then you know that 5-minute volume is still supporting this bullish move, and now it's closing above an hourly point of interest. So it still could continue to move further up in here. Okay, so you see how it closed right at that white line again? And then the next bar opened bearish, ignited, came down, small wick. So this thing could continue to possibly push up, but now it's transacting right at the hourly 50% right there, okay? So now we are literally right at 50% of that 10 a.m. candle, this one right here. See this big bearish candle? That's where we cut it right in half, that white line. So you can see that's where we're transacting right now. Okay, so I'm just watching it on the lower time frames, on the 5 minutes right here. You guys think that this is a good opportunity to sell, or we wait and we buy? What do you guys think? We're trading now right at now a higher time frame location. It's not like just taking a sell right here. Now you're at the higher time frame. It's a nice bearish candle coming down, but let's see if it gets a wick and maybe comes back up. Let's see if this will be a bearish engulfing, close below something here. Still lots of time left on this, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. It's a long time. Okay, so found a wick. It's coming back up. Remember how it opened, bearish ignited. So again, when it came right back up, just found some orders and coming back down. And if I do take another trade, this is going to be my final trade of this session. Okay, so it's got its wick. Higher low, still holding. Will they flip this body back blue? Will it travel up a little bit more? Or are sellers still holding it down right below this white line with the second half of the candle still to come in? Okay, so good buying still there. See where it came down, back up still holding. Maybe we continue buying with this, you know, and then continue to break it through here. Or we just wait for this bar to close. 2 more minutes. I'm going to just wait and see where this thing can close. Let it do its thing. It's still transacting exactly right at that white line. So you can still see how strong the buyers are still in this red zone. Like every time it comes down, it goes back up. Goes down, comes back up. But if they fail to make new higher highs, then we could get some consolidating and then maybe have a little bit of a pullback leg coming down, okay? And then now we have 60 seconds going into the close. So now they're coming back down with that volume, maybe going into the close, okay, with 1 minute. Okay, so it came down, back up. NASDAQ. Yeah, NASDAQ is giving you coming back down. So there was that, you see where I cut it, 50%. There was where it came right into that red line and now coming back down. So if you're looking to buy, you could be buying pullbacks. But you see, guys, how I cut it right in half exactly. And that's where the resistance was. So basically the cut line works for all time frames, all securities, right? Okay, so now we got a, wow. Okay, see that? It was bearish, bearish, bearish. It was engulfing, and then boom, it just spiked up right at the last second. So here's the close in 10 seconds. That was a big bearish engulfing candle coming down, and then boom, they just spiked it right up at the last second there. Okay, closed again, right, technically right below that yellow, the white line. Okay, so it's retesting it. Okay, I'm going to sell. I'm going to go in. I like this area selling. Why? Because it's at that hourly point of interest, the white line. Okay, so stop loss, I'm not going to put my stop loss that up there that high. I'm just going to place it to be the red zone. So I could get away with a really, really tight stop loss just above that wick, but you know, I'm just going to give it a little more room to breathe to cover the entire red zone. And then I'm looking to see if we can come through the red zone and get back down to this red line and see what happens down there, okay? If it can continue to extend all the way down there, fantastic. But right there is some minor support. I'd like to see if we can get down there, what happens down there, okay? And that's where, again, if it comes down there, controlling risk from the top, okay? So I'm in a sell. Now it's at exactly 50% of this bearish location from that 10 a.m. candle right here. So I'm starting to sell right here with this wick to see if the hourly can push down this bullish volume, you know, kind of contain this and absorb it and push it down, okay? And then let's just do some measurements so we know what we're looking for. So if it comes down and fills the red zone, that could be approximately 45 to 50 pips. That might be enough for someone. Okay, but if we break and get it down to there, that turns into 85 pips. So, you know, this is what we got to watch for. Sometimes when I'm just scalping for 20 pips, just get in and out. I'm not doing that today with you guys. But sometimes that's what I do when I'm scalping 1 minute candles. I just get in, drops 20, 25 pips. I'm out. Close the trade. Boom. Look for another scalp. In this situation, I'm not doing that, okay? I'm going to hold this thing, see if we can get like a complete move. Oh, is the mic cutting out? NASDAQ. NASDAQ still holding inside here. Okay. Okay, so 2 more minutes to go. So can we get some bearish volume engulfing below this blue volume? Also closing maybe below this black kind of parallel trend line. If the volume continues to close inside that parallel trend line, then it could technically come right back up, okay? But I really want to watch this wick up here too. 4,196 and a quarter up there. Okay, and we're closing in 90 seconds, so this could be a good push down. But remember, I had that good push down there too, and then it got a wick and returned right back up on me. And I'm walking into a new 15-minute candle too, coming at 12:45. So watch, they could return it very similar fashion. Okay, and that drop is 28 pips, 30 pips down there. But we're looking for, you know, get down through the entire red zone. Let's see if the sellers can continue to complete the red zone and bring it through here. Am I counter trading? It all depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at this trend, yeah, I'm countering it. But if you look at the overall trend earlier this morning, if you're looking at this big leg coming down, coming back up, I'm looking for this move to completely, higher time frame come down. But you're correct. I am counter trading if you're looking at this move, higher high, higher low, higher high. That could be a higher low and new higher high. But I want to see if this location can hold from the bigger move and push this thing down. It all depends on your perspective of what you're looking at. Okay, that's a close. Not the close I wanted because it was deep all the way down there. I would have loved to close down somewhere near the low. Didn't get it. So buyers pushed it right back up. And the next bar opened, ignited, going into 12:45 new 15-minute return. So again, I tell you, it's like clockwork. I know how this thing works because I scalp a lot, right? So I know that every 15-minute candle, 30-minute candle, hourly candle always has kind of a return. So you got to also time your scalps too at a certain time too. You got to always consider that in the back of your head. Does it always play out? No. This could just open, ignited, bullish, come up a little bit, get a lower high, and then get flushed right back down. Do I need new roommates? No, I don't need new roommates. I don't have roommates. I don't need anyone else. No, thank you, Stacy. A wife and 2 kids is enough for me. I do have rental properties. I need some tenants. If you want to be a tenant at the rental property, you're welcome. You'll be with students at college. Okay, guys. You guys are asking me, why am I shorting in an uptrend? I'll do you guys a favor. I'm just going to close this entire trade right now. I'm going to close it out, okay? I'm just going to close it out because you guys are not understanding here. You guys are right. It is in an uptrend and I'm trying to short it. I was trying to go with this overall move right here, the bigger drop coming in and then looking for that bigger drop. So I've closed the trade, okay? So I accepted a loss. My stop loss was up here. I closed it manually because I'm getting frustrated here on this call. So I entered the trade right there and I just lost 25 pips, okay? So I'm out of it. You guys are not understanding here what I'm trying to look for on my outlook, okay? So it's making no sense to you guys, so it's no point in being this trade. If you guys are not, you guys are absolutely correct on the lower time frames. It's making a higher high, higher low. Higher high. This could be a higher low and continue to go up. But I'm looking at this, the bigger picture on the hourly, where it traded this big hourly candle and we're trading into here to push this move down. So what I was looking at is this overall trend, the bigger trend, this one, this big leg coming down, and now it's trading right into kind of that pocket. So I was looking to continue the bigger move down, but I'm out of it, okay? Not just because you guys, but for myself too. Because I'm getting clocked by the wrong timing at these 12:45 candles. It's returning on me. So I had my stop loss. There's no point in sitting up there like a sitting duck and waiting for the market to stop you out. I've seen enough. That big bearish candle came down. It did its job, but it didn't close below. Then when the buyers brought it up right there, I don't like this. So I'm no longer in it, right? So I don't need to sit and give the market my entire stop loss, right? That's what you guys got to learn too. If the move is not doing what you want it to do, you don't necessarily have to just sit there and wait for the market to take you out, okay? Yes, you can give it room to breathe if you want. I gave it more than enough room to breathe. That was what I wanted. The volume was below the white line. It came down, but it didn't close anywhere down here. If this bearish candle closed there, I guarantee you we would be pushing down one more move. But as soon as I saw that return wick and the next candle opened bullish ignited, as soon as it came up, that's it. I'm closing the trade. I'll realize 25 pip loss as opposed to realizing 50 pips or 60 pips. That's what, if you understand that concept, to manually get out of a trade when it's not going your way, you're conserving more pips, and I'm not a stubborn trader. I'm not a trader with an ego to say whenever I get into a trade, it has to go my way. No, I understand. Trading you can take a trade and it doesn't go your way. But I'm a trader that acknowledges that and can close a trade early and accept a loss. I take an L. You guys can all put L's in the chat. I don't care. But it's taking a loss, but not as much as a loss as I originally had planned up there, okay? And yes, it could come back down. It could play this game, but I'm watching this white line. This white line is going to dictate. So if the sellers continue to come back down and close it below here, then, I could go in my original bias and sell, but it might not, because this is a big bullish candle, could find a wick right here and continue driving back up, okay? But it took me a long time, years, to learn this, I hope some of you guys learn this too, that trading is not just you go to your TP or stop loss and that's it. Sometimes if a trade is not doing what you want it to do, you don't got to sit there. You can literally close it out. Same with here, with that sell I had. I was waiting to tap into this green block, and you see where it came all the way down there for 55 pips in profit, and just because 1 or 2 pips I didn't close out, and then you see it came out and got me. So try and think like that. Sometimes you might have to close trades out early in profit, or you might have to close them out early before hitting your stop loss. When you learn that stuff, then you're really going to be able to manage your trading and understand if you take a trade, it doesn't go your way, it's okay. Take a loss, not as big as you originally intended. Then now, with those pips that I've saved, I could look for another trade to recover this trade. That's it. That's how my mind works. Maybe it works different from you. That's fine. But gold's not working out today. Yeah, I got a new mic. I just haven't installed it. This mic is getting old. It's been used quite a bit. So I'll get the new mic set up. It's sometimes when I talk away from this mic, when I'm talking to YouTube, I have another screen over here, and to read your comments, I'm facing this way. So I'm facing away from the mic, and sometimes it doesn't pick up what I'm saying. Anyways, guys, that's enough for me today. I'm going to go to workout right now, get a good workout in, and then see what Donald Trump, this 2 p.m. conference is. And I will be back later for a Tokyo session. We'll do a Tokyo at 6:30 p.m. Join us if you can. If not, tomorrow morning, check the schedule. Dave is 8 a.m. With the snipers in the Zoom. And then I am 11 a.m. post New York. Okay, guys? So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for joining. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel if you guys can. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry about the losses today. I'm just not got the right mindset of what's going on right now. Okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Justin, thank you. Tony, Sergio. We'll see you guys. Have a good day.
guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.